Okay, I'd like to talk about the psychology of the neck and face. And I'll start with the psychology of the neck and some of it. The neck is one of the areas in the body where we hold the most tension. And it's the second biggest or the third biggest pain syndrome area, low back being the first, maybe headaches being more than the neck, but the neck and headaches about equal. The neck and the back of the neck holds the fear of being psychologically disoriented because we orient with our head by rotating through our neck. So it's the fear of being psychologically disoriented. And there's a lot of control and stubbornness that live in people's neck. We tighten our neck in control. We tighten our neck in stubbornness. Now the front of the neck, the throat, that whole area has a lot to do obviously with expression, voice expression. So we hold back sound, we hold back voice by tightening the front of our throat, of our neck. And at the same time we hold our breath and that's one of the ways in which we compromise our breathing is tightening this area, but we hold back sound. And some of the feeling that lives in there is shame and guilt. Guilt for speaking up, shame about our voice, shame about what we're going to say. So shame and guilt live in here, usually around expression or the trouble we have with expression. As we go up from there, we move into the jaw, and chin. And the chin, some people stick their chin out, some people recede their chin. When the chin is being stuck out, it's aggression. People with a very chin that comes forward like that, protruding chin, usually they tend to be assertive and more aggressive, and their chin is part of that, And when the chin recedes, they're more submissive, and it's hard to find aggression when the chin pulls back. The jaw obviously holds anger, We hold a lot of anger all through this area here. And we tighten our jaw in anger. So many problems people have, temporomandibular problems, grinding teeth problems, repressed anger and holding the anger, not really coming through the other side of it, and it gets all very tight in here, in the jaw. In the lips, it's a lot about unexpressed need and not being able to fulfill our needs, and it gets held in the lip. Also, this English expression, a tight upper lip, meaning that you don't show anything, you don't show your feelings. We tighten our lips in order not to express. But a lot of unexpressed need lives around the lips. The cheeks, all through here, shame and embarrassment. When you get embarrassed, your cheeks turn red, and a lot of shame and embarrassment live through this area here. The eyes obviously are very emotionally expressive, and wherever emotional state we're in can be seen in the eyes, but often there's a frozenness in the eyes. So you see some people that are frozen in fear, some people frozen in sadness, some people frozen in anger. Every feeling gets moved through the eyes. But when we look through the filter of our conditioning, our eyes are full of prejudice and bias. So that gets caught in the eyes. We can't see clearly. And now between the eyes, like the third eye area and the eyebrows, a lot around worry. This is where we get the worry lines. We worry and we tighten this up around between our eyes. We tighten that area up. The forehead has a lot to do with also worry, but feeling confused and perplexed. People get confused and perplexed, and they hold it up in here, in their forehead, and they wrinkle their forehead in that confusion and being perplexed, not knowing their direction, not knowing their opinion, whatever it is that confuses them. And that comes up into the forehead, along with worry together. The nose, believe it or not, the nose, the fear of being controlled in the nose, the fear of being controlled, pulled by your nose, yeah? It's just that fear of being controlled lives in the nose. And the ears, fear of being misunderstood, because we understand so much through our hearing, and the fear of being misunderstood can live right through the ears and into the ears. In general, there's a kind of frozenness in the face around just not showing our needs or not showing our feelings. So we freeze the face. People freeze it to one degree or another. Some people, again, have very expressive faces. You see immediately where they're at. They can't hide it. But many people just have a kind of mask that covers their face and doesn't allow their feelings or their needs to come through the face, and it has a tension and a frozenness, which obviously then really increases the amount of headaches they feel. Yeah, the head in general, the cranium, where there's so many problems around headaches, different types of headaches, can get very, very tight, you know, and that has a lot to do with just control and fear in general. Control and fear in general, and we tighten up our scalp and tighten up our heads. And in that, you know, you might be afraid of whatever feelings are not being expressed. You might be afraid of people, you might be afraid of whatever. And that gets held up in here, all along the scalp, and very, very tight, and thus headaches are such a problem. When I work with people with myofascial energetic release, and I really work in the neck and face, I bring up these different issues as I work. I don't just do the deep tissue body work. I bring up the issues, and I don't necessarily have them talk about it, but I bring it up, and then I might ask a few questions or a few inquiries to get them to talk a little bit about the different fears, the different feelings that are frozen in their face.